Our guest today is Mr. Robert Johnson. He is the president of Becker College in Worcester. Some of you may not have heard the name of this wonderful college, but this college is really going global. Next month, they are inviting Nobel Peace Laureate Muhammad Yunus from Bangladesh to come and be a chief guest and be the presidential speaker here at the college. Today, we are going to talk to Mr. Johnson, the president of Becker College, about the history of college and his vision to take this college globally, especially in a town where you have Harvard and MIT as well. So, Mr. Johnson, thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure, for your time.
Yeah.
And congratulations on getting Mr. Yunus here.
Thank you.
And so first, those of us who are not very much familiar with Becker College, tell us a little bit the history and your vision that where you want to take this college.
Sure. So Becker College was founded, its collective history goes back to 1784. Samuel Adams and John Hancock signed the original charter of the institution. We're one of the oldest institutions in the United States. You fast forward to 2016, we have just over 2,100 students. We have exceptional programs, and what we're most known for is our nursing program. We have a 100% passage rate of the NCLEX exam among private institutions in Massachusetts. We rank #1. Our animal studies program is one of the top programs in New England. In our digital games program, we're ranked number five in the world.
Excellent.
Not just in the United States, but in the world. We've had 6 consecutive years of enrollment growth, a 95% job placement rate, and we're looking to continue to expand this institution. We want to grow another 600 or 700 students over the next 7 or 8 years, and eventually gain university status.
Excellent. Now, so my next question is that how this gym is sitting here, and many of us were not aware of this.
Well, the good news is, when I first came to Becker 6 years ago, that Becker did not have a brand. The bad news was Becker did not have a brand. And, today we've been trying to go out and tell the story. That's one of the reasons why we're excited about Professor Muhammad Yunus coming to Becker as part of our presidential speaker series. We're the only institution in the United States that has a 4-year baccalaureate degree in global citizen. So when you think about Professor Yunus's ideas and notion about social business and really making a difference and social innovation, it fits right within our DNA. When you look at our mission statement essentially says that we're helping young people to have a learning experience that is transformative in nature, that will enable them to thrive, lead, and contribute to a global society. Within our mission statement, we talk about helping our graduates to become global citizens. Okay. So when you look at the DNA of the attributes and principles that Professor Yunus espouses, and you look at our mission and vision statements, they align perfectly.
So let's just stay a little bit on Professor Yunus.
Yes.
So how that happened? How did you decide to bring him here, and how he came? How it started?
Well, actually, we have Dr. David Jordan, who is the president of the Seven Hills Foundation. At the time, he was on our board, and he had a former student who worked with Professor Yunus over in Bangladesh. And he asked us, would we be interested in establishing a Yunus Social Business Center at Becker College? And we said absolutely. We submitted a proposal, and last year in May we signed an MOU in Bangladesh with Professor Yunus to establish the 15th Yunus Social Business Center at Becker College. And there were only 14 others at colleges and universities across the world. So we were 15th in the world, but most importantly, first in the United States.
Now, so tell me a little bit about this program.
Okay, so the Yunus Social Business Center as we are launching it, and we will officially launch it when Professor Yunus arrives next week on April the 5th. It's going to be an epicenter where we will work with our students, the community, the region, and the country to identify real-world problems and create self-sustaining for-profit business solutions. That will be one of the things we will focus on. The second thing that we will focus on is that we really want the Yunus Social Business Center at Becker College, if you will, to become the Aspen Institute of the East, that really focuses on social entrepreneurship and social innovation. And then the third thing is Becker College, the greater New England area, as a result of us having this Yunus Social Business Center, will create a movement for social business throughout the United States among college students.
Excellent. And is there any scholarship or any funding for the Center for Professor Yunus?
So as we have established this center, we will be providing scholarships for students to attend Becker College in social innovation and social business. We are building a partnership with their healthcare network over in Bangladesh with our nursing program, which is, and by the way, our nursing program is one of the best in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We will be creating an endowment for the Yunus Social Business Center to support this notion of the Aspen Institute of the East, to really become a thought leader in social innovation and social business at Becker College. Where eventually we will hope to have experts from all across the world who will come here and think about real social problems and how do we develop a self-sustaining for-profit business to address those problems.
So now let's come back a little bit more about the Becker College.
Sure.
It's a private college.
Yes.
It's a private college.
Yes.
And can you name a few famous alumni or whoever we think that we can associate with or know?
Gure. So one of our famous alums is, most people don't realize this, is Eli Whitney.
Okay.
Eli Whitney, the founder of the Cotton Gin, he graduated from our institution in 1786. Wow, yeah, believe it or not, going back a long time. Also Stoddard, when you think about engines and going to space, he is a graduate of our institution. Colleen Barrett, who is President Emeritus of Southwest Airlines, is also a distinguished alum of Becker College. So, we're excited about not only our alums, but also our most recent graduates and our students who go out into the world and really, really make a difference and carry forward the Becker brand and the Becker label, if you will. And the exciting thing about Professor Yunus coming to Becker is that things are aligning as such that when you look at our growth, you look at our academic programs, you look at our vision and mission, it is perfect timing when we think about global citizenship to step out onto the global stage and help people to understand that we're educating young people for jobs that do not yet exist, to solve problems that they have yet to identify. And as we step out onto the global stage, the way that we do this is by what we call the agile mindset, which is really going to become the epicenter and the hallmark of the Becker brand. And what the agile mindset does is that it values learning over knowing. Think about this. College graduates today will have upwards of 15 jobs by the age of 40. So just giving them a skill or technical competence in a discipline in and of itself will not be sufficient. That means their first job will be very different than their fifth job. What we do with the agile mindset is that we essentially teach students 4 basic competencies. We teach them empathy, to understand the needs and wants of others. Because when you understand the needs and wants of others, it's the hallmark of innovation and creativity. We teach them divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is important because it's all about problem solving and creating something out of nothing. We teach them an entrepreneurial outlook so that they will understand how they can add value and not become a job seeker, but become a job creator in this new economic model, or this new economy as we call it. And then lastly, we teach them social and emotional intelligence so that they can go out into the world and be collaborative and work with others. And what we believe is that when you take the agile mindset and give the students those skills, that we are truly preparing them to go out into the world to become global citizens.
Now, tell me a little bit about yourself. That you sound like a very inspiring leader here. And what is your background? How did you come to Becker College?
Well, I was born in Detroit. I went to Morehouse College in Atlanta, earned my degree in economics. And over my career, I have worked at, this is my fifth institution. I worked at Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio for almost a decade. I worked at the University of Dayton as a vice president for about 3 or 4 years. I worked at Oakland University in Michigan, Rochester, Michigan, public research institution for about almost a decade. And then before I came here, I was at Sinclair College. I really believe, my mantra has always been that the small private college of the 21st century must be entrepreneurial, adaptive, and nimble. And I think that's what we do at Becker. We're not your typical classic small private liberal arts college in central Massachusetts. We're very entrepreneurial in nature, we're very nimble in nature, and we move very, very quickly. We believe that with the agile mindset, preparing students to go out into the world to become global citizens, that we are literally creating the model for what a 21st century small private college should look like. So we're not trying to think out of the box, we're trying to create a brand new box.
What is your personal philosophy?
My personal philosophy is that on a planet with more than 7 billion people, that if you are an educated person, that you have a social responsibility to leave the world better than the way you found it. That's one of the reasons why when you look at our vision and mission statements, we talk about global citizenship, and that's why we teach our students. I mean, the second tenet of global citizenship at Becker is social responsibility, and that is because you are an educated person, you have a social responsibility to go out and leave the world better than the way you found it, because you're privileged. You're already part of the top 1% on the entire planet. So at my core, I believe that when all is said and done, and that day comes when I'm here no longer, if people can say that Robert Johnson made a difference and left the world a little bit better than the way he found it, and at least touch one person's life who potentially changed the world, then my job will have been done. And I try and espouse those same values to our faculty, staff, and students.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. But before I let you go, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
Is our viewership and our readership is also very much South Asian.
Yes.
From India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan.
Sure.
You have any message for them?
I think the greatest message that I can give to them is if we all work together, and if every day, each and every day of our lives, everyone goes out into the world and tries to make a difference in at least one person's life, if that is your daily task, then eventually we will solve all of the problems of the world. And all of us are smarter than any one of us individually. So let's work together and really go out and be the change and make a difference in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.